I always trash women on this podcast, and so I'm always telling the broads over there to fucking write some shit here, talk some shit back, so we can be nice, so we can be fair and balanced, like all those news shows. Anyway, all right. The Empire Strikes Back is the name of this one. All right, number 1. She says, I don't like diesel guys. The guys who drive their extremely lifted, tricked-out diesel trucks and think that they are so fast. I don't know what that means. So cool, you mean? They are always trying to get me to race them in my Evo. I don't know what that is either. And when I don't, because they're gay, they blow black smoke out their exhaust and peel away. Do you live in Texas? That just sounded like the beginning of like Urban Cowboy. Anyway, something about their huge truck makes them think they have a huge dick. I gotta go with you on that one. Yes, I don't like those guys. I don't like people who feel like because of the car that they have, especially myself because I drive a hybrid. I always get people giving me shit, and then they start talking about their car like they fucking invented it, like they built it. It's like, no, I'm sorry. Some other man had to build that for you. Do you understand that, sweetheart? So why don't you climb behind your little shiny toy that you don't even understand how it fucking works? All right, you cunt. All right, number 2. My mother always taught me that it is rude to stare. I guess 50% of men either weren't taught that or they don't care. It is super fucking annoying when men stare. I totally understand seeing an attractive person and them getting your attention, but it should end there. There are too many guys who just keep looking. Yeah. I'm only guilty of that when I get drunk. Then I don't give a fuck. I'm like, yeah, look at that little fucking titties on her. Excuse me. Quiet down, sweetheart. I'm looking at your cleavage. Anyway, she says, get a grip, fag. Like clockwork, if I am walking up and accidentally make eye contact, this guy might look away for now, but the second I pass him and turn around to bust him, lo and behold, he is fucking staring. All right, I got to tell you something. Staring at a woman, making her feel uncomfortable is definitely not cool. I totally agree with you on that. But, if you fucking walk by me, I can turn around and check out your ass. All right? If you have a problem with that, I feel bad for you because one day you're going to turn around. I don't know. Could be when you're 27. It could be when you're 47. I don't know when. But one day you're going to turn around and lo and behold, the dude is not going to be staring. And let me tell you something. That is not a fun fucking day. So enjoy those days. As long as he's not running back at you, grabbing your ass. If he's turning around, checking you out, there's nothing wrong. He's not fucking staring. Staring is looking at when you're facing him. That's staring. Staring in your eyes, looking at your titties, checking out your books. I'm really being disrespectful. That's staring. But when you walk by looking over your shoulder, I mean, that's a fucking, it's a compliment. If he continues to walk and turns around, checks you out, that's actually a compliment. If he stops and he's got one hand in his pocket and it appears that he's doing half the mashed potato dance, like that is offensive, without a doubt. Jesus, where did I pull that out of? That would be offensive. All right, but he's turning around fucking staring at you. That means that you're an attractive woman, and stop being so cunty and take it as a compliment. All right? I understand you walk by a construction site and they go, hey, let me see your fucking panties. Or whatever the hell they yell. Whistling at you and all that type of shit. I understand that. Yeah, I totally get that. Treating you the same way I would be treated as when I first walked into a prison facility holding my blanket. I totally understand that. But, if he continues walking in the other direction and turns around and checks out your ass, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. That means he liked what he saw. That means you're looking good. That's all that means. He's not fucking staring. All right? Anyway, she goes on to say, everyone notices hot girls and guys too, but it is rude to stare. Okay, I'll go with you halfway on that. When you're looking at me, I shouldn't be staring at your fucking chest or your hips, or your ass, or your fucking hoo-ha, or your legs, or whatever. But on the other side, if you're really hot and you wear something really sexy, I mean, guys are only so, like, I don't know. We only have so much control over that. You're fucking with nature there. All right? Yeah, so I kind of blamed you in a way. So you're right. No. Somewhere in the middle of that, I agreed with you. Just take that. You take that home with you. All right there, Toots? All right, number 3. What is with the nasty bathroom habits? I don't know if some men just don't notice or don't care that the outer rim of their toilets are fucking disgusting. Is it that hard to wipe off what missed the target? A house with only single guys or a men's bar bathroom is proof that some men have horrendous bathroom habits. Okay. Absolutely 100% agree with you. Other than the public bathrooms, there's nothing more disgusting. The female's bathroom is actually more disgusting because you guys hover and you can't see what the fuck you're aiming at. All right? I used to work in a restaurant, and one of my jobs was I had to clean the fucking bathrooms. And I don't know what the fuck you guys are using all that fucking toilet. It's like a ticket. It's like somebody won a fucking championship in there. The Canyon of Heroes. Like there's all ticker tape and all kinds of shit all over the floor. It's fucking horrific. And you guys piss all over the place. Exactly. You know what I mean? Us urinating, at least we're looking at what we're urinating. You guys, it's like a fucking trick shot, and you're shit-faced in high heels, okay? And you're hovering. Need I say more? All right, but everything else that you said is 100% true. I lived with guys when I was fucking single and all that type of shit, and I never understood that. I never understood the fucking dirty dishes piled up to the ceiling or the food that you fucking ordered 9 months ago and it has like disgusting mold on the side of it, and thinking all that shit was funny, not mopping up the floor, living like a fucking animal, slice of pizza in the cushion, or however they always try to make single guys, like whenever they do in a Hollywood movie, they used to do it like back in the day, like whenever a single guy would get up just to demonstrate that he needs a woman in life. It was actually insulting to both sexes. It was basically saying that this guy needs a woman in his kitchen to start fucking making some food or something. And it was insulting to the guy, basically saying that guys didn't know how to take care of themselves. And I know that there are a lot of guys out there. I know it's just comedy or whatever, but every fucking movie would always start off, the guy would have like chocolate, milk, half a beer left, and he'd pour it on some Fruit Loops and then mix the whole thing together in a blender, suck it down, and then do a spit take into the sink. And then that was the deal, to show that he needs a woman in his fucking life. But I totally understand you. It's fucking gross. And there was nothing worse than when I would be on the road when I was younger, and I would crash at buddies' places, and you'd go to get up. Hey, can I take a shower before I go? They'd be like, yeah, right. And they'd go to give you this fucking towel that, they, check their oil on, wash their dog with, and fucking, I don't know what, drove the car over it. It felt like a fucking stiff piece of cardboard. And then you go into their shower, and it was just, you couldn't touch anything. Hair all over the place, fucking disgusting. I never fucking understood that. And I want to tell you, sweetheart, I never lived like that. I've never fucking lived like that. And one of my biggest fucking turnoffs ever are messy women. There's nothing worse than a messy woman. Because as much as I just stuck up for guys that were not all slobs, it's like you're supposed to teach us how not to be fucking animals. The same way I'm supposed to, teach you ditzy broads how to fucking change a light bulb. Because you don't want to get to have your nails melted away, right? You're supposed to teach me how not to, drink milk from 9 months ago. I do not like when some guys cannot control themselves and stare at tits and ass. Didn't you already say this? Doesn't this go under staring? Is this an offshoot? Is this like a spinoff when Flo got her own show off of Alice? Instead of respecting the women by speaking to her face while making eye contact and just using their peripheral vision to get a good idea of her tits and ass, you know what? Go fuck yourself on this one. Why don't you put your fucking tits away, sweetheart? Okay? You don't want people staring at your tits and ass. Stop wearing those fucking hip-hugging jeans with your little booty crack coming out. Stop wearing the shit with the cleavage, all right? Jesus Christ, why don't you just fucking walk in there top? That's the thing I've always hated. You know, hello, I'm up here. Well, you know what? You're not as good looking as your tits, sweetheart, so why don't you fucking put them away? And he's back! The chauvinistic cunt is back. All right, let's finish reading this. I have one friend in particular who is terrible at this. He even will walk 20 feet out of his way to be at a good angle to see down her shirt or into her skirt. All right, that guy's a pervert. And I got to admit, I'm a pervert too. I swear to God, if you have a fucking skirt on that's really short and you're about ready to walk up some stairs, you know, I'm gonna do a little march in place. Let you get a good fucking 10 stairs in front of me. I don't give a fuck. I'm not gonna look. I am gonna look. Wear some pants if you don't want it to happen, or take the fucking elevator. I'm looking. I'm looking. You know what? You know what the thing is too? You know what it is? They want you to look. Oh yeah, they want it. I'm fucking with you. Anyways, what is that going to do for him? I wonder if he has heard of the internet. There is way better shit on there. There isn't, sweetheart. There's nothing better than seeing live titties. Okay? And you can never see enough of them. So he's probably on the internet too, and whenever he can, he's just checking out titties. Anyways, continuing. It is the 21st century. You can see millions of bare tits and ass in the comfort of your home. I don't get the distraction. That's a classic fucking argument that if you put it in the right in a different situation, you would argue the other side. What if you were in a relationship with some guy and he's looking at tits and ass on the internet? You'd be standing there like, really? You'd rather look at this shit that you can't really even interact with? Then I got live titties and ass right here. Why don't you come over here? See? See what I did there? All right, here's someone who just straight up fucking hates guys. Let's read this real quick. And if you're bitching about it as a guy, we fucking deserve it because I got 3 years of podcast trashing women. Here we go. Number one, guys who think one good conversation means they're in. I can't tell you how many guys I've spoken to a grand total of once who think that just because they made me laugh during light conversation that I will automatically bed them. I'm sorry, no. The world doesn't work like a porno. Sad to tell you. All right, wire to wire. That's perfect. Can't fuck with that. Number two, guys who use Axe as a replacement for showering. I hope I said that right. Seriously, stop it. Yeah, you smell good now, but as soon as you walk away, that second cloud of ball smell is going to be waiting after you, and no girl is dying to get with that. 2 for 2. Dudes who can't flirt needn't try. This is an actual conversation I had. Him, what are you doing? Me, watching Jersey Shore. You, him, wondering if you'd suck dick. Oh, wondering if you suck dick. Wow. And then her response was, wow, just, oh my God. All right, number 4, learn to kiss. Fellas, I know that when you practice on your hand and think you got skill, but when you attempt to French kiss and you end up basically eating my mouth, that's not good. Sweetheart, that works both ways. Female, stop thinking just because you're female, you're automatically sensual and you have a nice touch and you know how to kiss. It is a fucking skill. Some people are born with it, but not everybody. That kissing thing's the only one I'll fuck with you on. All right? I believe I've told this story before, but I'm going to tell it again. All right, I'm in a bar, right? I'm chatting up this broad. Okay, she's short, okay? Her arms, there's something fucked up with her arms. I can't really tell. Like that chick who makes the Italian food on the Food Network. If you ever really start looking at her arms, she's cute as a button, but there's something with her fucking arms. She's just not a dwarf. Anyways, so it was one of those deals. But anyway, she was cute though, right? So, aside from her Jack-in-the-Box arms, she was fucking cute, all right? So I lean in, right? We're going to make out or whatever. I was fucking in there, right? Now, when you go to kiss somebody, for those of you who don't know how to kiss, you pick a lip. Either you're going high, they're going low, or vice versa. But what this girl would do, when I went high, she went higher. If I picked the lower lip, she went lower lip. She would basically do upper lip to upper lip, lower lip to lower. That's what she kept trying to do. And I got so frustrated at one point, I literally grabbed 2 handfuls of hair. I was a little drunk on both sides of her head and tried to help her. needless to say, after she kissed me, my dick was just like, all right, dude, you're on your own. You're on your own on this one. I don't know what you want to do, but I'm good. I'm going to bed now. See ya. See you in the morning. You know, I think I told that other story. That girl, doggy style, you know. When I move forward, you move back. Sounds like a rap song. Is that a Ludacris song? When I move forward, you move back, and then we both separate, and then we come together again like fucking magnets. That's how you do it. This girl would basically, when I went forward, she went forward, and when I went back, she went back. So we were just sort of rocking together. So I was inside the building, but there was no friction. So once again, my dick started being like, if this is how it's going to be, I think, I got work in the morning. So once again, I had to fucking grab her by the back of the neck like some fucking insubordinate hellhound. Another hand on her hip, and I had to hold her still for a second as I went back, and then I brought her to me. And then, see, there you go. There you go. All right? But I understand this woman. You don't kiss other women, so there you go. All right, number 5, guys who... By the way, this is fucking killer list here. Number 5, guys who insist on a girl who's hairless. I don't think guys realize how much work it takes for a woman to maintain silky smooth skin all the time, but it is a pain. It wouldn't be so bad to keep it up if the guys did the same, but sadly a lot of furry little men stick their noses up at the ideas. How can we be forced to do it when your chinchilla ass doesn't? Someone else made a list and was just talking about the pedophile tendency of that, and I could not agree more. I think it's creepy. 100% hairless is fucking creepy. All right? I'd like a nice manicured lawn, please. That's all I'm asking for. Yeah, that other thing, that's just, no. The Calvin Klein ad, as I call it. Remember those creepy ads he had with the fucking kids down in the goddamn basement? I think that's truly one of the few times in life when I actually get offended. It really bothers me when that ad campaign and when they have like 14-year-old models, sitting on a swing dressed like they're 22 and they look like they just got roofied. That's really, I don't get it. I really don't get that at all. I don't know if it's because there's a lot of gay guys in fashion and they don't realize how creepy straight guys view that. I don't know what, but whoever's, they're really missing the mark on that. It's fucking unbelievably creepy, and it actually makes me angry when I see it, and I want to find the guy who came up with it, and fucking punch him in the face because it's wrong. It's fucking, it's just And believe me, for me to be saying something's wrong, it has to be fucking wrong because I really don't give a shit about most things. All right? But, yeah, enough with the fucking sexy 14-year-old who looks like she just got drugged and can't stand up on her fucking Bambi legs. I really, it's fucked up. Okay, number 6. And lastly, men who assume oral is always on the table. You are boring, a bad driver, didn't pay for my movie ticket, made me listen to speed metal while we were in traffic, but you think that you deserve to be blown? You have dirty hair. I can only imagine what state your dick is in. Oh, then she writes, what's that in your eye? Oh, it's just a sparkle. Now, you know what? That was phenomenal. Phenomenal points, phenomenally written. I'm liking this. The Empire Strikes Back. The women coming back at us. We fucking deserve it. We fucking deserve it. We fucking deserve it.
So anyway, speaking of which, the strike continues in my business, and I mean, I don't know. This is a very crazy time. I think where everybody who works for a living, in other words, works for other people, you got to support unions, because I feel like we are just going backwards, where we're going to go back to like, hey man, if you want a job, you got to it's got to be like slave labor. It really is like the level of greed. I'm not even just talking about entertainment. I just straight across the board of these corporate, all of this out there, right? going after this person said this person tweeted that, and da-da-da. All these little brush fires that they're acting, that they're like, it's like Armageddon. And meanwhile, all of these corporations, for the most part, are run by a small group of people at the top who are just lining their pockets. Incredible amount of wealth, which, hey, they're running the corporation. They should be wealthy. But, they're literally eliminating the middle class, which I feel is that was the thing that made this country great, is that you didn't have to own a company and oppress 800 people underneath you so you could get a big house or whatever. You could work for somebody, and they had to pay you a living wage. And with that living wage, you could buy a house, you could pay it off, and you could have a wife and kids. Like, I remember when I was a kid, like the milkman. Guy drove up in a truck, dropped off milk, picked up the empty bottles, and could afford to have, where inflation was and everything, how strong the dollar was, could afford to have a wife and a family, and the wife had the option of working or not. And I don't know. I think that they eliminated that. They went around the unions. I mean, let's be honest. The unions did get greedy themselves and had the owners of the fucking factories or whatever under their thumb, and maybe they pushed too far. And at some point, the factory was just like, well, fuck you. We're going to take it somewhere else. And I don't know, this global thing that the only way to turn a profit is if, there's people. It's like everybody's loving these electric cars, all these environmentalists, and it's just like, if you look how they get it, there's like pregnant women in these mines handling whatever the natural resource is without any barrier between them. It's just, why does it always have to be that way? It doesn't. And then they go, well, if we didn't, it'd be fucking $40 a gallon. And it's like, why is that? Why is that? It's because you're not willing to take less of a fucking salary. You're not willing to make less profit. So if you actually have to pay people a wage where they're safe and they can live somewhere halfway decent, you're just going to pass that expense on to the consumer. You're never going to take it out of your pocket. And like, just the level of that fucking greed, and the fact that is never, it's never addressed. I said that last time, like when someone was going like, this guy's writing on a hit show and he's living below the poverty line on the hit show, writing for a hit show. And somebody goes, well, maybe the actor should pay him some money. It's like, that's such a fucking stupid thing to say. That's like I said before, it's like you're working at Home Depot and the guy driving the forklift isn't making enough money. Oh, the guy managing the store. What about the owner of the fucking store? Sorry, kids are downstairs. And I also just like, what fascinates me is the lack of empathy that not just some random person, a person who's in the same boat has towards people like, well, get another job. It's like, you get another fucking job. What do you do for a living? And then what? I'm supposed to not support you if you have a problem? I don't get it. But the level of fucking greed that is going on out there, but I just don't think that it's going to take regular people joining together, because politicians are not, nor have they ever held corporations accountable. If they do, they're just trashed in the media as socialists and communists and all that, and they destroy them before they even get a chance to get a campaign going. Or people pick that person, and then the Democratic Party goes like, yeah, no, we're not doing that. We're going to get you a fucking career politician that's going to get into the Senate, and there's no fucking rules against insider trading, and they're going to turn their $200,000 a year into $20 million, and it's totally fucking legal, and then they're going to go, I don't know what, go buy a fucking aquifer. All right, I'm off my fucking podium here. Anyway, was very fun to be back east here, especially on this island, man. It's amazing. Like, it's just a great mix of people as far as like, You know, people from around the world and like New York people, Boston people, different sports affiliations. Oh, my favorite thing, I met somebody at a coffee shop from New York. And he goes, I know you don't want to hear this, but I'm a Giants fan. Talking about the football team. That's like a thing. Like Giants fans apologizing to Patriots fans. And I'm like, why do they do that? It's like, we lost 2 to you, but then we won 3, lost 2 to you, and then won 3 more. And somewhere in there, lost to the Eagles. You know, like, what are you, like, it's that New York fucking thing where they have to figure out a fucking way. Next time a Giants fan goes, hey man, sorry, I'm a Giants fan. Like, what am I supposed to... Oh, hey, sorry, I'm a Red Sox fan. Sorry about 04. Sorry, I'm a Giants fan. Well, that's all right. You made it up with the Knicks, the Nets, the Mets, the Jets, the Rangers, the Devils. Whatever your fucking soccer team is. The Yankees choking away a foot. I would never do that. I don't give a fuck. It's just... I think it's because they can't chant 1918 at us anymore. So now they got to be, oh, sorry. I mean, I know this is going to bug you. Remember that game you lost last decade, the decade before? Yeah. I think I was like 38. I'm 55 now. I'm over it. I think that's what I'll say next time. Oh, sorry, I'm a Giants fan. Well, you know, but all your other teams suck. And not to mention, we also have... You're going to make me do this, dude? We have more Super Bowls than the Jets, Giants, and Bills put together. You have 3 professional football teams, and you still have less rings than we do. So, apology accepted. Fucking jerk off. Ugh. It's every reason why I don't go into those fucking chat rooms. Anyway, oh, look at me. Running my yap here. 32 minutes in. Let's do the the reads here, huh?
I want to talk to you about...
You don't have to point at me.
I want to talk to you about this Brady situation that he's in right now.
What are you talking about? They won this week. They won this week.
No, I'm talking about the fact that, like, he said he was going to retire, and now he's not, and now he's getting a divorce.
See, is that why the WNBA doesn't make it?
Excuse me? What are you talking about?
Well, because you guys are into that. That's his personal life.
I know.
And he's going through a really painful thing right now. And that guy put my team on the goddamn map times 6. I'm not talking
talk about it in the
wrong
sense
podcast.
Of
wrong podcast.
Oh, really? This is the wrong podcast to talk about it? Because let me tell you something right now. If you made
Let me tell you something.
If you made me move to Tampa, okay, while you did your, job, obviously. And
I don't think that was his idea.
What do you mean?
Well, she's from Brazil. Isn't she gradually dragging him back to Brazil? Like when a crocodile grabs somebody?
No one's dragging anybody.
The alligator catches...
Except to the fucking cleaners.
No, they're both rich. Come on.
Yeah, no. She doesn't.
Don't talk about it.
She doesn't need his money. Oh, now we're all precious about Brady. He doesn't even give a fuck about New England anymore. He's done with you guys. He's over you.
He should be.
Boston.
He should be.
Why are you being so level-headed? I thought we were going to be able to have a little back and forth about it.
Because all anti-Patriot fans...
I'm not an anti-Patriot.
Whatever the fuck you are, coming at me. You guys all want me to hate that guy because he went to Tampa. That guy took us to 9 fucking Super Bowl and won 6 of them. All right? We're tied for the most Super Bowls ever fucking won with the Steelers. And everybody knows that Green Bay is the fucking Celtics, Yankees, Lakers, Canadians of football because they don't count NFL titles. I don't know why. But what that guy did, I don't give a fuck, man. If you got to the point where you couldn't deal with our coach and you want to go down to Florida and not pay fucking state taxes, who gives a fuck? Like, that guy should have fucking retired if he was regular before we won the last fucking 3. And he hung in there and we won another 3. I don't give a fuck what that guy does. God bless him.
Fair enough.
He could go play for the Giants and win 10. I don't give a fuck. Because the guy made me happy for 2 decades.
Yeah, I guess so. All right.
Do you know what it was like being a fucking Patriots fan before that? Well, Bledsoe came in Parcells. That was exciting and everything. But we still never quite got over the hump And then Parcells told the team he was selling this fucking house, allegedly, right before we played the Packers in the Super Bowl. It's like, why the fuck would you do that? Give us a chance, man. You were a better fucking coach than them. Still kills me. I went to that game. Cost me fucking $2,000.
Okay, so won't bring up Brady. Just making a note in my phone.
No, I feel bad. Anybody I see going through a divorce, I always feel bad for that shit. And I don't think like it's just something that I should fucking gossip about because, I'm having a slow goddamn morning.
All right, I just like the tea.
You do like the tea.
I do like the tea, but we can move on.
All right, no,
Best of luck to you, Tom Brady.
Yeah, both of them. They got kids together. It's going to be painful. It's just like, that's like when Charlie Sheen was going off the fucking rails and every morning DJ, hey, what do you think about that? Oh, I think his dad and his brothers are all fucking worried about him.
I think it was more about the exploring the dynamics of that marriage.
You don't talk about Tom Brady.
I
really am
Christ.
being precious.
I
All right,
know.
I'm being a little precious.
I mean, a little bit. I didn't realize that that's how you felt about it. I felt more like of the dynamics of the idea of like you retiring and then being like,
Tommy
no, I'm
T.
not going to retire.
Fucking Brady.
Thing. Like, you're going to be taking some time off. And if you were like, no, I'm not doing that anymore, I would be like, what? You just said that you were. So I would feel some type of way. But maybe that's the beginning and the end of the discussion.
No. I want to know, why does that aspect of it fascinate you?
Like him starting to retire or not? Because I'm trying to imagine as his partner, you're thinking, and obviously I don't know like the inner workings of their relationship, but I'm thinking, okay, cool, you're going to be home more, we're going to be doing more stuff with the kids. I supported you throughout this whole entire time, which of course I'm happy to do because I'm your wife, but now our dynamic is going to be different and I'm excited for that new dynamic, for you to be less busy, for you to be home more, and then for you to renege on that because you can't let go of this career that you've already proven yourself at for years.
Renege?
Renege, isn't it? It's not
I wouldn't say that word as a white guy.
Well. but like the pull of the game, your career, again, when you've already been celebrated and decorated in it many times. How many championships did he win?
He has 7 there.
Yeah, like proving yourself 7 times. Like, it doesn't get any bigger than that. And you're telling me now you want to retire, go out on a high note, be with us, and now you're being pulled back. Like, I'm gonna take that shit personally.
Okay, can I just stop you for a second?
No. I'm still going. I'm gonna take that shit personal because now it's like you don't. So you really didn't want to do that. You really want to go back? You really want to be gone more?
Can I just say one thing?
No, I'm not done yet. And I'm just feeling like, no, I'm really done.
You just built so much into that.
What do you mean?
You added.
Yeah, that's of course because I'm not in it, and so
I know, but you don't know that's what happened.
But this is not based on the facts of what happened. This is what the emotion of it brings out. This is what gossip is. Gossip is a way for people to have shared values.
I'm a sports fan. I know what gossip is.
To do like shared values, sort of talking about. It's very rarely about the actual situation. It's about how you would do in that, and that in turn is about a bigger feeling about whatever the issue is. Family dynamics, husband and wife dynamics, career, all that kind of stuff. But I already know you're never going to retire. You say that. You're like, I'm going to retire. You're not. You're going to be like, you're going to have a Don, I'm calling it right now. You're going to have a Don Rickles type of vibe. And you're going to be doing these really interesting movie roles well into your 80s. Watch.
I don't know. Listen.
You heard it here first, folks.
We're already at an hour here.
I know. Let's move on to the
it's
question
all right.
that I can answer.
Yeah, like I don't even know what the fuck happened there. All right.
I saw something about the bottom one.
Sister wives.
Yes.
Bill, I got into an argument with a guy at work about sister wives. I'm guessing that's it's got to be a series. You have to see it.
It is, but
my God.
It's based on a Mormon practice where they have, their polygamy or whatever, and they have many wives, and they call them sister wives. So they're
Do you know what the initial?
But they share a husband.
They initially were going to They were going to call that show "A Bunch of Bitches."
Anyway, keep reading.
He moved out to Utah, got himself a bunch of bitches. Bill, I got into an argument with a guy at work about sister wives. He told me that it would be great as long as they get along. sister wives don't mean wives or sisters. It means okay. I was gonna say what the fuck. It means that they all agree to being one of many wives.
Yes, it's a Mormon thing. Yes.
He told me that it's the perfect way to have variety. With your sage wisdom, can you see any benefits of having multiple wives?
Well, this is interesting timing. Okay. Mm-hmm.
It was interesting timing.
It's just interesting timing that this topic is.
What are you talking about?
Nothing.
Oh. Wait a second.
So, do you see any benefit to having multiple? Would you like to have more than one wife?
More than one wife?
I was gonna say not
No,
wife.
oh my
One
God.
wife is
What are you
enough
doing
you.
for my birthday? This is all you got me? You got your other 30 wives this.
Bill doesn't want another wife, but perhaps
Yeah, I mean
some other variety.
Some other variety that came over there. Yeah, why not? Why not? I'm going to turn into that guy. Who's that guy? Oh, he's in the sports world. He goes, I want to see you with her. I want to.
Oh God, is that Marv?
I want to see her enjoying you. I want to see you enjoying her.
Gross.
Yeah, it is the whole thing. It's one of those things. The idea of it is fantastic.
Yes, the actuality
of
is
doing
a
it.
nightmare.
Yeah, then it's all in your fucking head. It all seems like it's going to be great. It's like going to Disneyland. You're like, oh my God, this is going to be the happiest place on earth.
Here's the
and
thing.
then you go there and you're standing in line and it's a fucking nightmare.
But
when you're on the ride, it's never better.
Listen, I think multiple wives is not a terrible idea because then like she can deal with you when I'm like not in the mood. You know, just pass her off. Pass you off.
And
when
that like you're not in the mood like to bang, or you're like not in the mood to listen to my
bang,
bullshit.
Not in the mood to listen to your bullshit. Just like I'm just like annoyed with you.
You call the bullpen.
Yeah, it's just
get on the phone.
You take him because I had to deal with him for a week, so you can take this load off of me. Yeah,
literally,
take him. Literally, take it. But yeah, so I understand it. Mm-hmm. Right. I get it, but I feel like though if they're gonna be jealous and stuff, like that's a whole other thing. You know, it's like I wanted him tonight.
Yeah,
no, I want him tonight. But they probably all like do stuff together, don't you think?
I actually think what ends up happening is you guys all collectively get sick of each other the same way you would on a one-on-one. Mm-hmm. Okay, and then I feel like he has to play. I don't know what rights women have in Utah.
Barely any. As a Mormon woman, I don't think a lot. And the whole idea is to have as many children as possible.
Because there's going to be
put all that burden on one body. So you have many wives so that you can have many children, and you know your wife isn't miserable and pregnant for 20 years.
But then there's like, I like how you're looking at all these other women like personal assistants. No, I think it's like there's going to be the one wife that you vibe with. Mm-hmm. That gets you and you get her. And there's no way the other ones aren't going to feel like some sort of, that there's like, there's a depth chart on the team here. And why is she the number one quarterback and all that? Or maybe that's what you have to have understood. This is it's like a pimp game.
No,
right? Isn't that what it is? You have your bottom bitch and all of that?
Exactly.
I watch HBO documentaries.
Yeah, well,
I understand that
watch
community.
Pimps Up, Hose Down in like 95 and
no,
now you understand
Patrice
everything.
O'Neill gave me that book, Iceberg Slim.
No, the whole practice is barbaric and sexist, and I'm actually not. I'm joking when I say like, oh, I get it. No, I think the whole thing is like disgusting, you know. But in terms of like having some other
fairy tale world,
yeah, in a fairy tale world, yes, I would like to pass you off to somebody every now and again, so I don't have to deal with you. I mean, I'm just being honest.
Am I that annoying?
Everybody is annoying. Everyone is annoying to their partner. I'm annoying to you. You're
I would
annoying
not
to
pass
me.
you off to some other dude.
Oh, right. Well, yeah, sure.
Yeah, that would not be happening.
And in truth,
Hey, dude, I understand it, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, he needs to talk to you more. You want to go over to Chicken Carvers and we can talk some more about it?
I think I'm talking more about like periodic breaks that I feel like a sister wife situation would be, but it's probably not like that. I think they're all together
do we need
all
to talk
the time.
or something? I thought we were getting along great. All right. Can we find it? There we go. All right, this one's titled, Oh, Jesus. I am a 23-year-old man from Paducah, Kentucky.
Now, why would you tell me that? I didn't want to read that. There's probably 18 people in your town, right? Needless to say, there isn't much to do. About 5 months ago, I met a girl who's 2 years younger than me and moved into town from East Cungamunga. We hit it off almost instantly. It was great. You know what? I'm going to have somebody bleep out this city. All right? I got to have him bleep out the city and the state. He goes, we hit it off almost instantly. It was great. She is beautiful, educated, and has a great ass. Sorry. A little Al Pacino for you. We took things slow, and I found that to be something unique in today's time. Most girls give it up within a day or two, but she wanted to take things slow, and I appreciated that. I found myself falling head over heels for this girl. I hadn't been with anyone in over 2 years, and I felt that I felt as if she was a sign that maybe there was a bit of hope in this world to be happy, and she communicated with me that she felt the same way. Okay, so about 2 weeks ago, we went out to a bar, and we had some drinks, played some pool, and had a great time, and ended up getting a little frisky with each other. I drove her home, totally expecting that tonight would be the night I was going to bang this beautiful woman. When we reached her driveway, we started making out in the car and asked if she wanted to come in. She got real quiet and said under her breath, yes, but. And of course, I said, but what? And that's when she told me she is a transsexual. I literally yelled. I was so shocked by what I heard, I could hardly keep myself together. And I told her, him, whatever, that I wasn't going to go upstairs with her and I would call her tomorrow. And she got out of the car crying and said, I was born this way, like some Lady Gaga shit. Wait a minute, what is transsexual? Like a hermaphrodite? Wait a second. Ah, Jesus, Bill, you're too fucking dumb. Why do you guys write me? Is this the fun part of it? Just finding out how fucking dumb I am? Transsexual. This is hilarious. Now I have this on my search engine. Transsexual. And Neil will use my computer and look up like transcontinental, and transsexual is going to come up. Bill, is there something we need to talk about? Transsexual. Here we go. A person who's undergone a sex change operation. A person whose sexual identification is entirely with the opposite sex. All right, well, that just made me even more confused. So if you had an operation, how were you born this way? Or the person saying, I just identified with being a female. Oh, I see. Okay, so the dude had a sex change operation. Okay. He goes, I haven't spoke to her since. It's S-I-N-C-E, not S-E-N-C-S-E. That night, besides a few text messages. She's going on about how much she loves me and she is sorry she didn't tell me sooner. It's even gone as far as me having to turn off my phone because she won't stop calling. I've never been pursued like this before. What do I do? Part of me actually feels bad, but I can't see myself banging an ass every night while my sweaty balls slap against her sweaty balls. Now, wait a minute. I thought the person had the operation. Don't they remove that? You know, I don't fucking know. Regardless of how gay this may sound, I still think she is incredibly hot. I knew it was too good to be true. Should I tell her that I'm just not interested anymore and completely cut her off, or should I be her friend? Or should I go bang her ass? It's weird. The thought of banging her ass excites me, but the thought of her junk swinging around makes me want to throw up just thinking about it. Thanks, Bill, and come do a show in such and such state sometime, you fuck. What should you do? I don't know. I honestly don't know. What's funny is you're literally just like, you're mentally where she is sexually. You know? I don't know. Like it's like you're standing on the state line and you got a foot in either state, just like her. You know, so I think your emotions are normal. And I hate when fucking people get offended by this shit. And they go, that's fucking you. You know, they get all offended like that dude is now a woman. It's like, no, that is a dude that fucking is a different kind of dude now. You know, that's not a woman. It's still a dude. It's just a different kind of dude. You know what it's like? You ever see when somebody buys an old car and they take all the chrome off it? They want that nice clean look. Yeah, that's what they do to their crotch. You know, that's a dude that took the chrome off. You know, I don't know what to tell you, other than I don't know. Do like that fucking. I don't know. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. Is what I would say. Let me go back and read what you said. Should I tell him I'm not interested anymore? Complete cut her off. All right. Part of me actually feels bad because I can't see myself banging an ass every night while my sweaty balls slap against her sweaty balls. Well, if it makes you feel better, I don't think the balls are there anymore. Although they might have kept them like a hood ornament. I have no idea. Oh, Jesus. I really am a moron. Regardless of how gay this may sound, I still think she's incredibly hot. You know, why don't you just split the difference and get a blowjob? I don't know what to tell you. That's so funny. I knew it was too good to be true, this poor bastard. I would say this. I'd say you'd want to sit on that decision. Don't be like the Baltimore Colts in the 1983 draft. Did you guys just watch that 30 for 30 where they immediately walked up 2 seconds in and they selected John Elway? You know, rather than fucking waiting the full 2 minutes or whatever to see if anybody gave him an offer. And then they ended up with nothing. I'd sit on this one for a minute. And I think that this person's actually pursuing you the way that they are because they're in a desperate situation, which is the whole thing is, in reality, the whole thing is unfortunate. You know, people should be able to be who they are. You should be able to like who you like, and that person should be able to, from day one, say that they're transsexual without getting judged. The reason why they didn't say it was because they were worried about this fucking moment here, which once again is another sad, depressing thing about humanity. I would say follow your heart, sir. You know? And not your balls. If you really want to find love. There you go. Balls in your court. No pun intended. All right. Advice for a young lady. Hey, Billington. Very, very original ones this week. People coming up with different ways to butcher my name. I'm enjoying these. I am in need of some advice for a young lady. And I love that some women are actually piping in, despite the fact how much I talk about hockey on this podcast. What are you saying? Women don't like hockey? Yes, this is what I'm saying. I'm an 18-year-old high school senior entering my freshman year of college. I got into my dream school with a scholarship. Do you know how bad I wish that I did that? Wish I studied in high school. Anyways, and I'm moving out of my shithole town, and everything finally seems to be making up for all the shit that I went through in high school. One of my really good friends is going to the same university as I am, and we're renting an apartment together. However, my friend is an 18-year-old straight guy, and I am a straight girl. Uh-oh. The gender thing could add a whole other level of difficulty on top of adjusting to living with a new person in a new city, away from everything I grew up around. We've been friends practically since we were in diapers. We can talk, jam out to 70s rock, and watch the Chappelle Show for hours, and we've never had issues with weirdness before.
But I do understand that college introduces a lot of firsts, and I'm not going to lie, I'm a little nervous that having a few too many drinks during a welcome weekend could lead to some inappropriateness. Weirder things have happened. I don't want to do anything to jeopardize our nearly 2-decade-long friendship. So this kind of sounds like you're a little attracted to this guy, that if you're this worried that something's going to happen. Or maybe you're 18, you're going from your parents' house to all of a sudden living with the guy. Maybe that's what it is. I'm going to guess that that's what it is. So anyway, my question. What tips do you have to stop anyone from stepping over the line with the male/female roommate? Also, in general, what tips do you have for living with a roommate? Nia's opinion on this would be epic. Thanks, and fuck you. Yeah, that was Nia's great fuck you last week. You know what? Maybe this Wednesday we'll do another Nia log, and I'll read this one. But right now, I'll just give you my own ignorant thought on it. Oh, wait. By the way, there's a PS to this, everybody. There's an epilogue, just like the streets of San Francisco. PS, might I add that we've both been in various relationships while friends. He often asks me for girl advice, and I ask him for guy advice. He currently has a girlfriend who I really like and am friends with, but they are breaking up in June when she leaves to study abroad. I am currently single. Oh, yeah, you guys are going to bang within fucking 8 minutes. Within 8 minutes of your college career. All right, so basically what you want to do, you're not asking me should you or should you not move in with this guy. You're going to move in with this guy. So what you're really saying is basically, how do I not fuck this guy? Well, I can only do it from the male perspective, which is what I would do is every morning before I ever even walked out into the living room was I would rub one out. Oh, God. To try to get that fucking, urge out of me. I think what you need to do is sit down and talk with the guy. And just say, listen, we have a great friendship, but I don't want to ruin this. I know we're moving in together and everything. But, obviously we're going to be in close quarters, sharing a bathroom and blah, 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 blah. You know what you have to do? You have to lay down the law. If that's what you really want to do. But if you actually like this guy, like I think you might, if you actually like him and think you could actually, did I just say that? If you like him, you know what I mean? Do you? Oh my God, you guys, this could be the one. If you actually like this dude like that, then you should not move in with him. You should be in a separate apartment. And that way, if you start dating him, you don't immediately start by living with one another.
I text everyone. We drive back, we're back in Austin, and I text everyone over at Joe Rogan's new club, the Comedy Mothership. I was going over there to check that place out, which I already saw, like most of you. I saw the videos on the internet. I was like, my God, this place looks amazing. And I went in there, and I'm not going to even just mince words here. That's the greatest comedy club I've ever been in. And I've been in some great ones. Caroline's. These are the best ones I was in before Joe's. Caroline's, Hilarities in Cleveland. Comics, the one that when it was in the meatpacking district went out of business. Gotham. The Stand. Those were like so nice. You're like, how is this still a comedy club? Because you're used to them being like smaller, holes in the wall or whatever, And I went to the Rogan one, and I don't even know where to begin. All I can tell is when you go in that place, you can tell that every fucking thing on the wall, on the floor, on the ceiling, sight lines, everything in that place was painstakingly gone over to make sure that it was absolutely perfect. And that's what I kept telling Joe. He goes, how do you like the club? And I was like, dude, it is fucking perfect. It's fucking perfect. You have to, like, the colors of the booth, the Mitzi's place, I think that's what it's called, the bar downstairs, the main room, the smaller room. I did sets Saturday and Sunday there in the smaller room, and I love that place. And Harlan Williams, what do you say there, Freckles? He was there in the main room, so I got to see him headline that place. And just the green room, the food, the whole thing was amazing. And I knew that he would have this option. I was like, if a comedian is designing the club, he's going to have the option that you can either deal with the crowd or not deal with the crowd. Meaning, when your set is over, if you want to go out and talk to the crowd, AKA you had a good set. Or maybe you didn't. Maybe you pissed a few people off, and when you go behind the curtain, you just want to stay there, and you can get to the green room without having to deal with anybody. It is fucking amazing. But the coolest thing that combined two huge worlds of mine, stand-up comedy and Stevie Ray Vaughan. Stevie Ray Vaughan, I guess, played that place when it was called the Ritz back in the day. And that's another thing. It was like a punk club, and he had for wallpaper in the green room all like the actual posters of all of these punk bands, Circle Jerks, Misfits, all of these classic bands. I'm not a big punk band guy. I'm not cool. I was listening to disco, as you heard when I was making fun of I was making fun of the Canadians. But Stevie Ray Vaughan played there in like 1983, and Joe somehow got somebody to find photos of him playing there. And for big Stevie Ray Vaughan fans, it was that time in his career right before he started wearing a cowboy hat on stage, and he had that sort of that not Kango style, I don't know what you call it, like the Brian Johnson style hat that he had when, right from when he was Stevie Ray Vaughan in Triple Threat, and he had a woman in the band before he got with Chris Layton, Tommy Shannon, Double Trouble, before they added Reese. Yeah, kind of into those guys. Anyway, he had these two amazing, like, life-size photos of Stevie Ray Vaughan. And Stevie Ray Vaughan is like one of those artists that I find transcends what he does. Like, he's so good at what he does, even though you don't, like, I tell jokes, I don't play guitar. He's so fucking good at it. It's like I want to get better at what I like. How do I become the Stevie Ray Vaughan of what I'm doing? Which obviously is impossible. I mean, that guy's a once in a century talent. But it does make you dig deeper and try to get better. So to see those pictures, and also just to know that you're in a place that guy played in. Like, I really feel that when you perform in a place like that, like, whatever they did, the magic of it is somewhere there, if you're into that spiritual shit, which I actually am. So I went down there that night. Joe wasn't there, so I had to see him. So I made sure the next night I went down there again to hang out with him. But Adam Ray was down there too, one of my favorites, and I met a couple of comedians there. This guy, William, that was hosting, I never got his last name. He was funny as hell. And then I brought this kid up that I thought was great, named Miles Johnson. Was really funny. Just really, and the club also had open mic night, which is something that went away during my stand-up career. It was how an open mic night was crucial for new comedians, and it was crucial for the comedy clubs to keep, it was like the draft. You had to keep developing new comedians to keep the scene alive. And I always felt that one of the big mistakes that so many comedy clubs did was they stopped having open mic nights, and then it just became like the Dust Bowl, where you just keep farming on the same land until it's just, nothing grows there anymore, So that was another great thing. And it's right on 6th Street, and it's just, I mean, I don't know, 6th Street's a little loud for me in my old ears, but like it is, you feel like that excitement of youth and that type of thing coming down the street. So that's another great energy to have in the club. I can't say, like, Joe absolutely fucking picked the perfect venue and crushed it. It's unbelievable. So anyway, so that all happens. That's Saturday. Killer show Friday at College Station. Which, by the way, Chris Layton, drummer for Stevie Ray Vaughan, came out to with one of his buddies. I'm dropping names all over the place. I don't give a fuck. All right, I'm still giddy. So that was Saturday. One of the greatest days on the road I've ever had. And then Sunday, we still get to go to the race. And we showed up, and all the races were great. I would say the best race of the day was the Moto 3 race, which I was so psyched because I haven't seen one of those races since they stopped having them on TV. They do have them on their website, but like I get so fucking busy that I only watch the Moto GP. So for those who don't watch the sport, there's Moto 3, Moto 2, and then the top level. And Moto 3 is like 17, 18-year-old future fucking, stars of MotoGP on their way up. And they all get the same engine. They almost look like those cafe racers. And it was this absolutely fucking insane race where this number 5, and I forget the other guy, they kept swapping the lead, and then the lead guy crashed. And he just sort of low-sided it on the like turn 14 or 16 or something like that, somewhere over there. And the dude right behind him, number 5, had to slow down. And in slowing down, he went from second and being on the podium to being like 5th or 6th. And there was only 2 laps to go. And, dude, this guy, I don't know who this kid is, but he raced angry, man. He fucking just went all out, passed 2 guys in one fucking turn, I believe, and worked his way all the way back up to second place again. Crowd was going crazy. And then the next one was Moto 2. And I'm a Joe Roberts fan. I got to root for the Americans here. And he's got the red, white, and blue bike. And he was in, I think he was in 16th. And he got all the way up to 9th at one point. And I think there was something going on with the bike because he was riding great. But I got to watch him. He ran great. And that was another amazing race. And then the last one, the MotoGP one, was crazy because it was really windy. Like on Saturday it was hot, but on Saturday it was really windy. And like on the first lap, like 3 guys like just fucking wiped out. I don't know what was going on. Like they said something about the tire pressure in the front tire and the wind was just taking these guys out. And like I think like 9 riders went down, not getting bumped or anything, just going into a turn. And the bike just went out from underneath them, I think, with the wind or something like that. I have no idea. But on the first lap, like guy Fabio Giannantonio, whatever his name is, riding that light blue Ducati, he low-sided and then slid into his own teammate, Alex Marquez. Just took him right out. I mean, they could have been more than 4 turns into the fucking race. And $2 million of motorcycles and an entire team were out. I forget who else wiped out. I don't know if it was Jack Miller or something like that. There was so many big names that went down. Of course, is it Pecco or Pekka? Francesco Bagnaia. I don't know how to say his name. He was in first place. The second race in a row, he low-sided and didn't get any goddamn point. He did get to 25, I think, in the sprint race. But I'm totally back into this sport. I had a great time. Alex Rins ended up winning it. And they asked me the night before, they go, hey, do you want to present the trophy? Club Soda called me up. Hey, they want to know if you want to present the trophy. And I'm like, for what? They're like, the guy who wins the MotoGP. I'm like, they want me to do that? Doesn't that like a hot chick does that? They're like, they're asking you. And I always say no to that shit. I'm always like, nah, I'm not going to do that. That's I can barely ride a motorcycle. That's stupid. I shouldn't do that. That's outside my wheelhouse. But I was just like, I'll do that. I don't give a fuck, right? So I show up. The end of the race, they bring me down there. I'm standing behind the fucking podium, and I'm watching, like, these guys as they come in, first, second, and third place guy, and their team's going nuts, and they're all screaming and how psyched they are. I've always seen that on TV, but to see it live, the energy is crazy. On the other side, where I was sitting, I saw them bringing in all the bikes that wiped out on this sad little golf cart that brought it in on a trailer. So fucking funny, man, to see a bike that can go 220 fucking miles an hour getting brought in on a little golf cart, towed in.